guys, I'm back. Welcome to the Psychic News Network for Friday Night Live. You think it's pouring where I am right now? I was just getting out of my car and it was starting to rain. And I didn't bring my raincoat, but it's alright. I won't melt. I'm not one of those kinds of witches. I won't melt. So, alright. Let's see. Terry's giving the lowdown about the castle because she was here. Thank you for joining me for that tour. It was kind of really spontaneous because I was there earlier to inquire about where I would be doing readings in the castle, psychic readings for the Goblin Ball on the 28th. So I have no idea how that video came out. I'll have to go back and look. And lo and behold, I was talking to one of the managers at the castle, and he said, "Come back because we're having people can just show up in costume and tour the castle." And he said I could live stream, and they definitely fixed the Wi-Fi at the castle because that was not too long ago. That would have been impossible. So let's get our bearings. Today was really. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Today was really, oh my gosh, one thing after another. I don't even know where to start. So it was good to take a little retreat from the news and everything else going on. And sorry the castle was dark. It's a dark castle. Warren wants to start with a group hug. I usually go to the group hug like partway through, after, when we need a hug. Who wants a group hug now? Let's do a group hug later because there'll be more people here. Then it will be more powerful. Oh, where do we begin? I've totally trashed my office. I was looking for Halloween stuff. Let's take a look at the pendulum, which I looked at earlier because I was trying to figure out... Oh, and it said no, Jim Jordan would not be speaker, which I've been saying all along. Yeah, later we'll do the group hug. Today is the 20th and the moon has been in Capricorn. Good day to get stuff done. Jim Jordan needs a group hug. Oh, he needs more than that. Can we do 2 group hugs? Boy, you guys are really into the group hugs, huh? You all must be psychic because if you're feeling it, then alright, let's go. On the count of 3. Group hug. 1, 2, 3. Hug. I feel like you're all my good friends. Okay, that was nice. I like that. It felt supportive. Yeah, so it was earlier. It was the kind of day that if you follow the news throughout the day, which I do my best to do that, it was a bit much. But I, at one point, picked up my pendulum. Is Jim Jordan going to be speaker? Because I think what they were doing was they were going in for like a closed secret meeting. We didn't know what they were up to. You like the castle, Bonnie? Great. I'm glad I got to do that. And so they were going into the secret meeting after Jim Jordan lost again, and it's so interesting that he felt so much like he needed to have the speaker seat, and we were all kind of shaking in our boots because Jim Jordan just wanted to steal the seat. He just wanted to steal it. And we knew what he was capable of because he did it before. I mean, he almost did it before. At least he said that that the election was stolen and all that. So he could have come out, worst case scenario, Jim Jordan could have come out and said, they cheated, I should be speaker, and so we're all looking for something like that. And unfortunately, I'm so glad he just dropped the whole idea. I kind of wonder about that. I kind of wondered. Yeah, it was an attempted coup fail. Exactly. So, we were all nervous about that. Understandably so. I mean, it boggles my brain how little we talk about the horrible, tragic catastrophe of January 6th. It's just the most bizarrest, weirdest thing that we're not all, as American people, talking about. That was the most terrible, horrible day. in the United States history. All the faux news is just like watered it down and gaslit people. It was a horrible day, and Jim Jordan was part of it. And I just want to say that we have been doing a lot of guided meditation for a healed America, and I'm just saying, you know, whether it's working or whether it's not, it certainly doesn't hurt. And if you're on the Grassroots of Democracy email list, even if you can't make it to the meetings, you're being sent. If you've just put in your email address, we did that. You will receive the guided meditations that we do every single week, every Tuesday. It's always different. And we've been pumping out the white light. I just want to tell you right now, that's what we've been doing. That's what we've been up to. So Jim Jordan was angry and wanted to forcefully force people to vote for him because that's what he's used to doing, right? Nicole Wallace has a list of possible speakers. All but one voted against certifying. Yeah. So we're all kind of shaking in our boots as we watch the reality of the situation, that they have that on their minds, that they just want to dismantle democracy. That's what they have on their minds. They don't have governing on their minds. These insurrectionist Republicans do not have anything to do with governing on their minds. The only thing on their minds is how can we take down the Biden administration and how can we dismantle our government. That's all they are thinking about that they want. Think of Matt Gaetz, think of Marjorie Taylor Greene, think of Lauren Boebert, think of Gomer, think of Gosar, think of the what's his name? His name is escaping me. Chip Roy. Look at how horrible of human beings they are. And if it makes you feel any better, they're miserable. So let's not ever think that they're having a good time. They like for you to think that. So they're angry that they cannot take down the government. And we are here to make sure, energetically and in reality, that it never, ever, 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 ever happens. No insurrectionists in the speaker position. Yes, and we, once again, we dodged a bullet. Everyone voted against the certification. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them, and it's over 100. I think it's 147 people in the government that want to take it down. And what's happening now is it's been really clarified for us. It's indisputable what they are attempting to do. And I'll get to the cards in a second, but I've just been thinking a lot today. Maybe too much about what's going on. We're in a really precarious position. We're in a kind of a dangerous place with our national security, and they have put us there. And it all started with the Kremlin, and we know how all the lines are drawn, connected. It's crystal clear. It's becoming clearer and clearer and clearer. During the meditation segment, John sent light and prayers. Yes, we did that. John, we did that. We like to say that at Grassroots of Democracy. When something good happens, we just go, we did that. Maybe we did. So now it's undeniably clear that it's like, okay, well, what are the Republicans doing? Let's answer that question like this. Oh, what are the Republicans doing? Question. Here's the answer. They're trying to take down our democracy. Is it just me, or is it obvious to everybody else? Oh, what are the Republicans up to? Oh, they're trying to take down American democracy. That's what they're up to. That's what they're doing. Somebody fight me on that one. So there's no, it's very, yeah, of course, it is now obvious. It's been obvious to us It got really obvious on January 6, 2021. Extremely obvious, shockingly obvious. But it's just again and 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 again. So it's been obvious to us. But what's now starting to happen is it's becoming obvious to everybody else. The only people that don't get it are people like, I happen to hear a little video clip of a call-in show, and this woman called in. This is an example of a person that doesn't get it. Thank you, Thomas. This woman called in, and this is just, these are the people that won't get it, the clueless ones that just have no idea what's going on. Oh, well, I think that the Republicans need to stop the Democrats from spending all that money. This is terrible. The Republicans need to take over, and Jim Jordan needs to be Speaker of the House. It was a call-in show, and it makes your hair curl. I mean, it's like we can't do anything about the people that are too far gone, but more people have their heads on straight than don't. Believe me, more people have their heads on straight than don't. So it's becoming very clear, and before I get to the cards, I just want to say that I heard that after Joe Biden's speech, even the anchors on Fox, I don't know what they said, I haven't seen any clips of it yet, but I heard that they were impressed, and on Fox they were speaking highly of Joe Biden. And I want to remind everyone, or maybe you haven't heard me say this, but people have asked again and again, of course they ask psychics these questions, what's going to happen, obviously, and what's going to happen, are people in America ever going to wake up? And I have said repeatedly that I saw a catastrophic situation, and I didn't know exactly what it was. I said repeatedly, I saw a dire situation that would force people in the United States to stop being divided and to be united again. A crisis unites people. Yeah, it was probably somebody in a rural area that called in. I mean, we can't do anything about the people that we're not able to educate. And that's a thing, some people are born smarter than others, some people are born dumber than others. It's not a judgment, it's just a fact. So, and 2 hostages were released. I mean, today it was just one thing after another. So just be grateful that we're in a place where people are going to wake up. I nearly fell off my chair when I heard this. That Fox, they were thinking it was a good thing that, Joe Biden gave that speech. And I'm sorry, I'm super chatty tonight. Just because there's so much going on. And probably because I just came from the castle and I love it there. But anyway, I happened to watch Joe Biden's speech on MSNBC, and I understood clearly what Joe Biden was doing. He was doing many things, but I heard that speech, and I was really awestruck by how he hit everything just right. He hit all the points he said what needed to be said. And it had a dual function, because he had to talk to the American people about the danger that we're all in. And he had to address the Congress to say, in order to ensure our national security and the security of the world, these countries are relying on us being allies and helping. Basically, Joe Biden, my perception was telling us so we could be in a third world war. That's my interpretation. But he was appealing to Congress because he needs them to approve the funding to really, get our national security up and to protect democracy. We don't want to be a completely a world of just dictators, and then we're heading in that direction in a certain way. Afterwards, on MSNBC, and I had to shut it off, I was so disgusted. They were, and I like Chris Hayes, and Mehdi Hassan, I got to take him with a grain of salt because he's extremely negative. They started picking on the speech. That, he compared Ukraine to Israel, and I understood what Joe Biden was getting at. So I just really want to reiterate that, every time I think, I'll give MSNBC a chance, every time I think that they always let me down. And I'm not saying they don't have good anchors. There are some really good anchors. But every time they let me down. Let's not bash anything anymore about what was said. Chris Hayes is a jackass, Electra Storm is saying. I gotta turn my pumpkin on. I kind of liked Chris Hayes, but after that I was offended. These are times like no other. We are in times that are very much like the start of World War II. We should write to MSNBC during... Yeah, and then he had Mehdi Hassan on, and they were like, well, you know, they're two different wars. I can't believe he compared the two. It was like, I got what he was doing. He was appealing to Congress because we need the funding. Chris Hayes has always been like that. I don't know what you think of Mehdi Hassan, but I've given him enough chances, and you know, enough already. These are dire conditions. Midas touch only. They just issued a worldwide travel advisory for Americans. Yeah, not surprised. I guess that was a rant. Let's get some cards, shall we? Hang on. Which ones do we want to use? Should we use... I'm kind of like... Sorry, Bunny. I'm kind of feeling the trick-or-treat cards. Gee, I wonder why. Let's do this. What's the costume on Betty? Well... I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at myself. It's a little out of control. Betty just has a mask on. I thought I had totally misplaced my Halloween decorations, but I found this guy. Alright, it's probably going to drive you crazy if he's blinking, so I'll put him over here. Oh my goodness! I'm so glad we're together! And part of the reason I took you all on a castle tour, and if you missed it, check out the castle tour. Yeah, I found my Witches Inn, the Witches Inn sign. I found my hat. If you go to Salem, Terry was there. If you go to Salem, everybody's wearing these hats. How many times are we going to be here with... Oh yeah, you remember the ghost from last year? Wow, we've been together a long time. Remember this guy from last year? I don't know. I think the blinking will drive you crazy. I was an awesome tour guide. Thank you. I did my best. So, kind of blending. Can't even see the hat. I'm blending. Should I take this? So what are we going to look at? Is that better? No, that's too busy. What a week is right! What's there to see in Salem? A lot of people wearing these hats. It's a little warm though. But actually, since it started raining, that's going to come in handy. As far as the Speaker of the House, the other day, before Jim Jordan, when they were still voting on Jim Jordan and everything, and I just was like, okay, what's going to happen? The other day, I got that Patrick McHenry would be holding, what do they call it? The Latin word? The temporary speaker. Salem is a blast. Cheryl's been there. She's just in Maine. McHenry, what I got was he'd be there through the end of the year. I think I said that to you guys. Tom Emmer is scary. I don't know who that is. James, a little late. Oh, James, you must have missed the castle tour. Pro tempura. Isn't that like how you cook Japanese vegetables? I'm telling you what. Did I already say I'm so glad that we're here together? I'm so glad we're here together. There's 12 Republicans interested in the speaker. Which Republican? I haven't seen the list. which Republican that's up for speaker is not an insurrectionist? Oh, thank you, Nancy. I'm so glad you enjoyed the castle. I'll have to look. We'll have to look that up. I don't know. I haven't seen the list. You're glad we're together too? I'm going to look at, this is what I'm going to pull cards about. How are the Democrats feeling? Austin Scott, God no. He was up there saying that it's a problem that we have Social Security and Medicare and that we have to cut it out. No, I'm not picking up on anybody. I don't know the names on the list yet, but I'm not picking up on that they have anybody, any potential candidates for speaker that's decent. Because let me remind you, I just said it. Their goal is to take down our democracy. And they don't want the Freedom Caucus, you know, they don't want, not all of them, because some of them voted against Jim Jordan. But what we're seeing as clear as can be is they don't want to have somebody be speaker who's actually going to do the job. I don't know who Emmer is. Oh, Emmer is the one. Hakeem will get in, don't worry. Emmer is the one that is not an insurrectionist. What did I call him the other night? Ne'er-do-wells. I'm going to pull 3 cards about how the Democrats feel about what's going on. No candidates that are not insurrectionists. If that is the case, I'm going to start raging. I'm going to try not to. How the Democrats are feeling about what's going on right now. Well, this is it. How the Democrats are feeling about what's going on right now is the 8 of Cups. It's very sorrowful and it's very sad and it's kind of scary. But they know, here's the thing about the Democrats. When I think about the Democrats right now, I have an image of like a school of fish or a flock of birds in formation that are unified. Do you ever see like a flock of geese? You know how that all works? You know, they're in a V, and when the goose in the front, when they're flying in a V formation, gets tired because everyone's drafting behind it, then it kind of goes to the back and another goose. The reason I'm talking about it this way is a bottle drop. Is that's how it feels like the Democrats are right now. They're completely unified. Completely unified. I don't know if we need a third party. 2's bad enough, but we do need an alternative. So the Democrats are feeling very sad about, you know, what's happening. It's very scary. The Republicans have put us in a very scary place. I mean, everyone say prayers that we're going to be safe, because we're not. But the Star card is coming up, which means the Democrats are holding fast and faith and trust in our Constitution. So the Democrats will be upholding our Constitution. The Republicans will not. And furthermore, the Republicans are refusing. The Republicans are refusing to solve this problem. Bunch of freaking babies. Does it make you as mad as it makes me? They want to perpetuate this problem. You know why? I don't want them to get their way. I don't want the Democrats to get their way. That's why. It makes me insane. Oh, thank you, Terry. When you're a member of my channel, gosh, it's Friday already. Usually the last Saturday of the month we do a psychic party, but this month, because I have to, I'm going to a ball on the last Saturday. Our psychic party is tomorrow. So become a member and you can join at the High Priestess level or the World level, and it's just a subscription. And you can come to our psychic party tomorrow. Sorry for that little interruption. Yeah, so the Republicans, they don't want to help this country. It's just as clear as, it's as clear as this bell. Clear as can be. It's just it's undeniable. Oh, we don't want to pick a speaker that the Democrats want. What the? How's that gonna go? So anyway, I saw the Democrats are they're sad about what's happening. They're unified, and they're adhering to the Constitution. The Democrats are upholding the United States Constitution, and the Republicans want nothing to do with it. I'm going to look at what's going to happen to the Republicans because of this debacle. What's so infuriating is what they're putting the American people through. Oh, thank you, Terry and Warren. Oh, John's coming to the psychic party. Let's get some more men to join, to become members so that you can come to the psychic party too. For some reason, it's always mostly women. It's kind of the way this work is. There's a lot of women. But so thanks to the men for being here. Okay, so what's going to happen to the... Because of all this, because of what the fascist Republicans are doing, here's the Eight of Cups. This is sorrow for all that we're losing. This is just the same thing that I saw with the Democrats. It's a very sad, terrible time. What's going to happen for the Republicans is the Tower. And the money, the dark money, is going to be exposed. But that's what it's going to. It's just breaking down. I mean, it doesn't take a psychic, right? It's completely breaking down. I do feel like, and I said this a couple of weeks ago, I feel like there's a time coming where this nonsense will stop. They'll be forced to stop the nonsense. In the year 25, if man is still alive, if women can, women used to run governments. In ancient times, women, in the year 25, if man is still alive, if women can survive, it's the women in ancient cultures ran the countries, or whatever they had back then. Oh, that's a song. I see. A little out of the loop there. And then Chesbro caved. Oh my God. Yesterday we had Sidney Powell. Today we had Chesbro. And remember when I was using the pendulum? This is a couple weeks ago. And I was asking how many, I think it was here. I said he would cave, but we were looking at, thanks Barbara, we were looking at how many would cave, and I think I got that 19 would cave. Like it was like 12, it was a high number. And then Judge Chuckin today got assigned to another Trump case. I mean, there's some divine intervention happening. There is. Don't lose your faith and don't lose your hope. What did you think of Biden's Oval Office address to the nation? There's some angel stuff going on there. Real strong angel stuff going on there. With Joe Biden, I feel like, I feel like Joe Biden has angels around him, and Joe Biden has founding fathers, and Joe Biden especially has, as his team of spirit guides, he has people, oh my gosh, think about how many people Joe Biden knows that have passed away, like John McCain, Ted Kennedy, Orrin Hatch, Elijah Cummings, John Lewis. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. His son Bo, his but I'm just thinking about people that he knew in politics. Joe Biden has so many people that are now on the spirit plane. I mean, I'm telling you, it shows that are helping him. Yeah, he was totally made for this. He's surrounded in light. We continue to pray for him to be protected. I mean, we all shudder to think that what if Trump was in the White House? We'd be gone. I honestly think we'd be gone. I honestly think we'd be obliterated. Okay, so let's look at, I'm actually going to pull 3 cards about this. What's shifted at Fox News since last night? That Jessica, what's her last name on Faux News? I forgot her last name. Who's the counter to the extremists? I feel her really smiling. What's her name? Start with a T. Jessica on Fox, the one that sets them all straight. I'm pulling 3 cards about how what Joe Biden is talking about, where we're in this dire, really national emergency in a certain way. What his speech has done. Hey, Marge. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I'm looking at the effect of Joe Biden's addressing the nation from the Oval Office last night. The effect that it had on Fox News. The fallout from faux news on Faux News. It's changed the conversation. I know. It might be hard for you to believe this, but it's changed the conversation at Faux News. Because I have the Wheel of Fortune here. And there are people that are going to be really happy about that. Now, strangely enough, I feel like there are people that work for Faux News that it's almost like when Donald Trump didn't get reelected, they actually were relieved. Remember Tucker Carlson said he hates Trump? Is that Dark Brandon? Tarkovsky? I think Jessica's, I think she shortened her name to Tarkov. Jessica Tarkov on Faux News, who counters the extremism and the hatred with facts. Well, I don't watch either, but if you watch, Midas Touch, Tarlov, Jessica Tarlov. Thank you. Yeah, so I get this feeling about Fox that it sort of mimics what I felt after when they thought that Biden won in 2020 and Trump was just done. There was some relief. The guy on my card looks like Dark Brandon. He does, but he looks a little like Enrico Tarrio too. So I don't. We'll just say he does look like Dark Brandon. You're right. Jessica Denson won her lawsuit against Trump. Trump must be a crumpled heap of a mess he must be we'll read about him. So this is a turn, this is a change in the conversation at Faux News. Food all over Trump's walls, and this is the 5 of Pentacles. Yeah. Faux News is in a bad place. Financially, they're in a bad place. And the 3 of Cups is, actually, some people are relieved that the truth is actually coming out. The truth is, we all need to be praying. We all need to be praying. We don't want to all be involved in a war in the Middle East, for one thing. We need to be united against Putin, and we need to be united against Hamas. That's all there is to it. We are now going to read... Oh, Miss Orchid's Gardens. I see some of you kind of coming out of the woodwork that I haven't seen in a while. Welcome back! Or maybe you've been lurking. Thank you, Terry. My funds are down. My funds are down. If you want to donate, it would help. Way down. And thank you to all of you who helped me. Trump held a knife to everyone's throats with his NDA. Yeah, Jessica Denson talks about that. Gosh, there's so many people that were in the news for such a long time that we haven't read on in such a long time. People like Ron DeFascist, it's like, what's he doing? But anyway, we're not reading on that right now. We're reading on Trump's mental state. Cheryl, you can't live without me? Really? Thanks. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's true. The Proud Boys that are, the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, the DOJ is appealing and wanting them to get more prison time. Sedition, man, that's like decades and decades and decades in prison. Yeah. I'm just reading on Trump's emotional state right now. What's it gonna be? Cards. I have a couple of I have an extra card here. I feel like Trump is taking sedatives. Okay. Here's how Trump copes. He tells himself all kinds of stories about, like, for instance, the other night I said he still thinks he's president. Trump still thinks he's president. Trump feels like he's like a shadow president. And so how he's feeling is the Seven of Cups is he's in a delusional state. I feel like he's on sedatives. He's facing judgment, but he's not in reality. He's not in reality. Yeah, this is a couple of things here indicating to me that I'm feeling some drug use, prescription, but I'm feeling drug use. It feels too like somebody's giving him something to calm him down. Yeah, he's going to implode if he doesn't. Yeah, I think he is, and that's why I'm picking up that maybe someone's giving him a Xanax or something. Yeah, it's bad. But these two cards. Hang on. These two cards indicate that he's delusional. He's telling himself all kinds of stories about what's going on that aren't true because he's facing judgment. And so he's completely in denial. He's completely in denial. You can tell when Trump has been sniffing too much, his sides of his nose are swollen. Yeah, probably. I mean, I was about to say, well, allergies can do that too, but you're right. Does he have a house physician on staff? I bet he does. Can we give Fonnie Willis a standing ovation? Oh, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Let's read on Georgia, since you brought it up. The progression of his delusions indicate a breakdown. We have some psychiatrists in the house. Glad you enjoyed the tour. The progression of his delusions indicate a breakdown. Is that like a psychiatric statement, like kind of a diagnosis? He does believe his delusions. It's really fascinating. Can you believe people wanted him to be president? John saying 45's new nurse is Nurse Cratchit. That's not too far removed from what I'm seeing. Thank you, Kim. Much appreciate the help from all of you who have donated. I mean, I just said that because lately nobody's really been getting a reading, so I hope that you want a reading. It's not commercial time yet. I am just wanting to pick 3 cards about how Jimbo Jordan's doing. What do you say? You want me to ring the bell? Okay. People have known Trump for years say he's sniffed as much cocaine. Does he? I heard it was Adderall. He had to have his nose reconstructed. I don't know if that's true. I thought that he was snorting Adderall. If you need a reading, reach out at psychicannetteDion.com. Just get in touch with me. Underutilized talent here. I mean, what a waste. It's fun to get a reading, and the veils are very thin, and I'm sort of segueing into a little bit of a commercial break. Booking a reading from now till the end of October means you get a free gift. Jim Jordan's probably crying at home right now. I know, I can't believe I'm not busy either. I cannot believe it. I just feel like, you know, I want to be with you guys, and, you know, and even if I'm watching a YouTube video, unless they tell me we need some support, I forget. Okay. Alrighty. How Jim Jordan is doing. Oh, God. Oh, man, it's not good. I'm sorry. I don't like to revel in somebody's misery, but he's a miserable guy. Anyway. I have Seven of Swords. He's still, believe it or not, Jim Jordan, thank you for your donation. Jim Jordan, I hate that I'm saying this, is actually, well, how he's doing right now is he's still trying to figure out how he can steal the speaker seat. He wants to steal the speaker seat. He's still trying to figure it out in his head. Jim Jordan has got tension and stress and bad news coming at him from all angles, and Jim Jordan wanted the speakership for the same exact damn reason that Trump wants to be reelected. You want to hear that again? Yeah, I'm reveling. Jim Jordan wanted the speakership for the same exact reason that Trump went ahead and threw his hat in the ring to run for president. The exact same reason. And what is that reason? Everybody can tell me. It's like they, you know, I don't know where these horrible people came from. All together now. No, not for power. That's not, I'm not talking about power and money. Okay, let me explain. Donald Trump ran for president again for one reason. So he could stay out, so he could get out of, not be in trouble. So he'd be off the hook. And that's what Jim Jordan, that's what they have in common. They have a lot in common, actually. Yeah, to stay out of jail. Exactly. Because both of those evil reptilian beings are going to jail. Yep, you got it. You got the answer right. Nothing to do with public service. And they don't even fake that they're public servants. And how about this one? Did you all see? I think it was today. Did you see Kevin McCarthy get up there and say that Jim is he really knows how to legislate? Kevin McCarthy stood up there and said, and Jim Jordan, he works for the people. I thought he was making a mockery out of us. I thought he was joking. Wow. Anyway, Jim Jordan is not happy, and I kind of feel like there's marital problems going on. I can't even imagine that he's married. All right, look at this. See, if you can see, I love these cards. I'll miss them when Halloween's over. See if you can see that Jim Jordan's having marital problems. This card. how I picked up that Jim Jordan's wife is not liking him right now. Oh my gosh. So will Congress pass funding for Israel? Yes. Yes. Kevin McCarthy, man, did anybody else see that? Their goal is to destroy our government. Yes, that's exactly. I really want you all to just get everyone just get it in a nutshell. We don't have to ask why are they acting so crazy. Why are they doing this? What? We don't have to ask that question. You muted Kevin McCarthy. Unbelievable. I mean, how do these people sleep at night? How do they live with themselves being that hypocritical? And I just know, and I've said it before, that it's really unhealthy. It's really physically unhealthy to be that out of integrity, to be that, to put no value on your word. It's amazing. House Republicans are blocking each other on Twitter. They're a bunch of really nasty children. It was nauseating, Linda says. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at Israel, and I'm actually going to pull 3 cards about Netanyahu. I feel like Netanyahu has been shocked out of his, like I was just talking about Trump and being all delusional, right? I feel like Netanyahu has just, I don't know, it's like his head exploded or something. Yeah, the Republicans are wasting taxpayers' money, which is why it's so infuriating. They take dirty money to sell us out. So true. So Netanyahu, I feel like Netanyahu's having a breakdown. I feel like he's having a nervous breakdown. And why wouldn't he, right? But what's interesting is he's been shaken to the core to wake up to reality and to what really matters. So I'm going to pull 3 cards. Oh, someone must have slipped Marshmallow McCarthy an envelope with money in it. Before I read on Netanyahu, I want to ask that. Because that was just freaking weird, and I feel like that's been going on all along. Did Kevin McCarthy was he given money to say the ridiculous, extremely not true things about Jim Jordan? Yep. And the same thing happened at Mar-a-Lago when Kevin McCarthy went down there. I always thought that Trump offered him power because it's Kevin McCarthy's fault that Trump is still in the picture. We'll get to Netanyahu in a second. Did Donald Trump pay Kevin McCarthy when he went to Mar-a-Lago after January 6th? Yes. Money changed hands. That's my psychic impression. As far as Netanyahu goes, Netanyahu is exhibiting horrible, heinous behavior for decades and decades, not caring about the people. And he was a lot like Trump for greed, money, power, all the power I can get. But he's not full on like dictator. And Netanyahu is extremely shaken because I really feel like he doesn't know what to do. I mean, it feels like for Netanyahu, to him it feels like he lost his entire family. That's what it feels like to him. Thomas is reminding me it's commercial time. Thank you. Let me just read on Netanyahu. I appreciate you reminding me. The Hierophant. Yeah, actually Netanyahu wants to get back to having some kind of structure and approach. Netanyahu really needs a plan. He needs to feel like there's a plan and the plan's going to work. Well, Kathy, so she's asking, is Netanyahu Israel's Trump? Yes, but not exactly. It's a different, he's a narcissist, but it's not as extreme. It's kind of a different kind of narcissism. And Biden was hugging him like a scared little boy. Yeah, a scared little boy is a good way to put what I'm picking up on. But for Netanyahu, he's been shaken in a way that I don't think Trump is capable of being shaken to the core like that. Yeah, well, Bibi, he can't go away now, Damon. Somebody's got to be there. So I feel like for Bibi, huge burden, huge burden. The Hierophant he just wants some kind of structure in place, some kind of a war plan in place. At first, Netanyahu was very like, let's just go kill all of Hamas, kind of rogue, kind of reckless. But he knows he has to rein it in, and I actually think that he's wanting to do the right thing. Whereas compared to Trump will never do the right thing, in any circumstance. Yeah, but it's really shaken the Prime Minister. I heard Macron was going to Israel. I don't know if he's gone yet. Did somebody ask a question? Let me see. Yeah, Bibi, yeah, he's in shock. That's the way I would describe it. He's in complete shock. You're here, you were on a chat about dealing with grief. Was that a class? Oh, that's good. Grief has to be dealt with, yeah. Oh, so Thomas reminded me to do my commercial, so I'm going to do my commercial. It's the month of October and the veils are very thin, and that means you want to get a psychic reading because all your guides and loved ones are really close. PsychicAnnetteDion.com. Please join Grassroots of Democracy. We do meet on Saturdays too. We meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays. Grassrootsofdemocracy.com. On October 29th, I'm having a Halloween event, and you can attend. It's a Zoom event. And I'm going to be in a location by the beach, and it's going to be costume and decorations and mediumship, and we might do a little meditation too, just to tune into the other side. Bring food, have your own little party at home. October 29th, that's on my website, PsychicAnnetteDion.com. It's only $45 a person. It's 2 hours, 6 to 8 Eastern time on Zoom. Check it out. If you invite a friend, you save a little bit of money too. James loves my newsletters for Grassroots of Democracy. Thank you. Thanks. So you learn a lot at Grassroots of Democracy. So come to the Halloween event, book a reading. I also am reading tea leaves for people too. I offer those too. So psychic tarot reading and or tea leaf reading. I'm a spiritual life coach, which for some reason I haven't promoted very much. But if you want your life to change for the better, sign up for spiritual life coaching. What else, Terry? Oh, yeah. Becoming a member means at the upper levels, High Priestess of the World, you get invited to a psychic party. And that's going to be tomorrow night rather than the last Saturday just for this month. And let's see. That's a lot of fun. Do I have any other classes coming up? I need to schedule some kind of class. There'll be classes coming up. When you book a reading from now till the end of October, Halloween, you will get a free gift. You get a choice of one of three guided meditations delivered to you in your inbox. And the guided meditations to choose from are either positive body image, increasing your brain. We can all use a big brain, like, Trump didn't have much success at that, but you have a bigger brain than him. And the other one's about meditation. A meditation about meditation. Church of Spirituality is every single Sunday at 1. If you're not watching Church of Spirituality, you're missing an opportunity to make your life better. Great sermons, great little chants and music and songs and upliftment and inspiration. And please donate. I really appreciate the donations. Cora says my brain hurts. Does your brain hurt because I have too many things going on? The whiteboard is behind me. I kind of forgot I had it. Anyway, that's my commercial. It's better than hearing about some prescription drug you have no interest in, right? And when you're a member, at all 3 levels, you get an affirmation in your inbox Monday through Friday. Back to business. This is my business. Okay, so who do we really need to ask about? Us. Let's ask about America. Rose loves Church of Spirituality. Thank you. Who do we really need to ask about? Us, the American people. The side effects with Annette are much better if your life improves. It will. I have a lot of tools. Thank you, Cor. I'm going to pull 3 cards about America. America. John likes the affirmations. Alright, about America. I'm pulling 3 cards about America. Oh, interesting. Here are the cards I'm getting about America. The 8 of Cups is coming up a lot today. The 8 of Cups is coming up a lot, and the 8 of Cups is in the Rider-Waite tarot is when there's a figure of a person who's turning away from spilled cups, and it looks like there's like blood coming out of the cups. It's wine, and that's what what it means is walking away from sorrow and loss. And so how America is doing right now is let's just tell it straight. Donald Trump destroyed America. I'm not saying it can't be rebuilt. But Donald Trump destroyed America in so many ways, and we're so fortunate that it didn't go all the way. So this is where America is right now. We are hurting, and we're so... We hurt when we see the dysfunction. We hurt when we see other people being hurt. And that's the sadness. I know it's pumpkins and these are cartoons, but that's the 8 of Cups. And where America is right now is it's justice against the devil. It's hard to be serious when I'm looking at these cards. But where America is right now, this is justice and this is the devil. We need justice to have a good country, right? We need justice in order to be a good country. And the devil doesn't want us to be a good country. The evil, think of somebody like Paul Gosar and Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz, and the ones that you look at pictures of them and you go, they don't even look human. And I hate to say that, but it's true, and you know what I'm talking about. So this is where America is, justice against evil. Warren, do you ask me that every single week? And that's where we are. China collapse, how it affects USA. Tuberville. I mean, that's the evil. That's the evil. Instead of protecting the American people, these evil people in our government are making sure we're not protected. Kamala Harris's birthday is today. I think Kamala Harris had a wonderful birthday. Happy birthday to Kamala. I do. I think that Kamala got a lot of love and a lot of appreciation. Will Matt Gaetz be expelled for putting the House in this mess without a plan? Well, that's a good... Without a plan? That's a good question. I think I want to play with that question a little bit. Because we're looking at a Republican Party that's completely lawless and completely has no regard for doing the right thing. So it's not like Matt Gaetz, they kind of made up their own rules, right? And I don't know how they got away with that. But they said they'd vote for McCarthy if he did all these things, and they got mad at him, and then Matt just took it to the floor and said we have a motion to impeach him and all that. But it wasn't really that he went and get against the plan. Cat Whiskers was lurking. Oh, I'm glad you're here. Lurkers are welcome. It wasn't really that Matt went against the plan, that he just made up his own rules. So let's just read on the fate of Matt Gaetz. I always want to say everybody hates Matt Gaetz. And the last time I saw Matt Gaetz on a news clip, a reporter was talking to him. This was maybe yesterday. And he looks like he's on drugs. Matt Gaetz looks like he's on drugs. He looks like he's got really dark circles under his eyes, and he looks wired. Does anybody else ever notice that? 7 Republicans on the list for the speaker all voted against 2020. We can't have that. We can't have that. They can't even expel George Santos, and he's a total nutcase. Total nutcase. They've done a number on this country. Matt Gaetz. That's why we all need to be involved. Think of how satisfying it will be that we helped to oust them. That will feel good. Let's think about that. Yeah, Matt Gaetz, well, it's not just that he's weird looking. Matt Gaetz has really dark circles under his eyes, and he looks too slender, and he looks crazed, and he looks like he's been doing meth or something. He does. Or cocaine or some stimulant that keeps him up all night. I don't think he's sleeping. Can't believe that guy is married. So Matt Gaetz is facing judgment for all the stealing that he's done. And there's many things that he's stolen. Doesn't necessarily have to be all just money. But Matt Gaetz has really, the judgment card is here, and he's really in trouble for all the stealing that he's done. And he's got somebody that's been covering for him. He's on something, not sure it's drugs though. Oh, it's drugs. Moonchild, I'm not sure how you wouldn't see that. I mean, he's burning the candle at both ends, but he's using stimulants. I mean, I can ask the pendulum. It's a lot of drug use. Remember that horrible Madison Cawthorn? Yeah, and Thomas is just mentioning it now. Remember when Madison Cawthorn said, oh, well, they invited me to an orgy and they're doing all these drugs and everything. Well, I don't think that was totally true, but I don't think it was completely untrue. He looks crazed. Matt Gaetz looks crazed. Is Matt Gaetz doing speed? Is Matt Gaetz doing speed? Well, I'm calling it speed. Is Matt Gaetz doing cocaine? Is Matt Gaetz doing cocaine? It looks like cocaine. It looks like he's doing coke. And I clearly get that there's a person that's been covering up for him all this time. Maybe he took too many blue pills in his energy drink. He's not well. Yeah, it's funny Angela's bringing up DeSantis, because I was saying earlier, we haven't heard much about him. Does Matt Gaetz have somebody who's covering up for him? Yeah, I feel a male covering up for Matt Gaetz. Is it his father? Is it his father that's covering up for him? It's not his father. Curious, isn't it? So, yeah, the 7 of Swords, the judgment's coming for him. It is. And I know it gets frustrating and you want it all to happen right now, but somebody's funding Matt Gaetz. Somebody has kept him out of jail. It doesn't look like his dad. Not that his dad hasn't bailed him out a gazillion times. Is it somebody from a foreign enemy country? Yeah, that's a yes. They're all in trouble. They're all disintegrating. They're all falling apart. You can't keep it. You know what? How often I have said, and I started to doubt, the truth always comes out. The truth always. Cora's asking if it's Putin. I feel there's a connection there. Oh, Dawn booked a reading. Yay! Thanks for booking a reading. Yeah, did DeSantis hang out with Gaetz at one time? I do think so. I remember the guy that went to jail for the sex trafficking was a Greenberg, was his last name. They ratted out on Matt Gaetz, so he was in on it too. And in my mind's eye, I saw a picture of Matt Gaetz and that guy, was it Greenberg? Green something. And DeSantis and Jim Jordan. Kavanaugh went to Gaetz' party. Yeah, and if you listen to what Cassidy Hutchinson said about Matt Gaetz, it's awful. Sleaze. Can't believe he's married. Oh. Joel Greenberg, I did have the last name right. Yeah, so in my mind's eye, I saw an actual picture of Matt Gaetz and Greenberg, and I don't remember who the third person was, but in my mind's eye, I saw DeSantis and I saw Jim Jordan in that picture, psychically. So I feel like they were chumming around with Matt Gaetz when he was sex trafficking. Where do we get these people? Matt's going down. I feel like beginning of next year. I don't know how he can be married. Well, throw your questions up there. Should we read on DeSantis? Let's just read on DeSantis. DeSantis' campaign ended. I'm calling him DeSantis. Yeah, well, just to backtrack on Matt Gaetz, I do get that somebody's backing Matt Gaetz, and I feel like it's an enemy someone from an enemy country. And then I got the thought of Ron DeFascist having that woman who is Russian on his campaign. I don't know her name. If you put it up there, I might recall. I get that feeling, the same kind of thing. It might even be the same woman. Yeah, he's so gross. All the egomaniacs are falling down. Oh, the Democrats in our government and in our Congress, heroes. They might as well be fighting the British. I mean, it's just, they're doing phenomenally well. They are heroes. Yeah, DeFascist, his campaign was over the end of... DeFascist's campaign was over in the end of August. I know, and Greg Abbott, Greg Abbott is doing... Greg Abbott, they're really similar, those two. DeSantis and Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott is a murderer. And what I mean by Greg Abbott, and I'll read on DeFascist in a second. When I tune into Greg Abbott is a murderer. He has murderous. It's sadistic. It's masochistic. Greg Abbott is a real. He is a murderous sociopath, and I cannot believe that he's still in power. So maybe we'll kind of wind down, but let's read on Ron DeFascist first. Don't the Republicans have a debate? Isn't there a presidential debate coming up? Terry, I'm just telling them my impression. He has murderous energy. Freedom of speech. DeFascist. This is Ron DeFascist. There's a Republican debate. What a joke. I don't even know who watches them. When is it? Oh, George Santos is arraigned on October 27th. It's quite a month. It has been quite a month. That's the day before the full moon lunar eclipse. It's almost like, and hats off to Kathy Beale, our resident astrologer. We're going to have a show on Tuesday. She's been telling me for months, in October, it's all coming tumbling down. Oh my goodness. Ron DeFascist. The Five of Swords. Oh, he's got it coming to him. Ron DeFascist has it coming to him. Six of Pentacles, Six of Wands. I know he wasn't in the room where it happened on January 6th, but I always felt like Ron knew. Ron knew. Oh, it's not good for. And let me just tell you about Ron DeFascist. It's not even so much that he's going to be going to trial and he's going to be, sent to jail. It's not even that. It's like Ron DeFascist. It's true. You can't make the shit up. I just swore. Ron DeFascist, I feel like, is just going to disassemble. He's just gonna. Ron is just gonna. He's just gonna come apart at the seams. It's really horrible. It's horrible to look at. It's really bad. Wow, that debate will be worth watching. Oh, how can you stand to watch those debates? In Miami, November 8th. I feel Ron just, I don't know. Remember when he was like a deer in the headlights when Charlie Crist, when he debated Crist, who should have won, but the maps are so gerrymandered and all that in Florida. None of these Republicans won legitimately, by the way. I think that Ron is going to snap. I think he's going to. I think he's going to have a nervous breakdown and just lose his mind. I really do. And we're going to read on Abbott too, just because we haven't for a while, and he's doing some horrible, horrible things. What's Abbott's fate now? Believe it or not, I can't believe it, but Abbott. I'm picking up on that. Abbott there's some health issue coming up for him. Yeah. Somebody's mentioning, Sissy's mentioning the Washington D.C. is under high alert. Yes, I've been saying that we're in a dangerous place. Sissy, that's not like breaking news. It's just, I'm just telling you that yes, we know that Joe Biden said that we're in a. I just wonder if people don't understand that yes, we are highly vulnerable right now. So everybody say your prayers. We'll be okay. Oh, please hit the thumbs up. I just remembered to ask you to hit the thumbs up. Yeah, these times are going to make an interesting movie that goes on and on and on and on. Yes, we're under a nationwide terror watch. Do you remember after 9/11 we had the color codes? I don't know how accurate they were. You've been asking me what, Gloria? I'm not, please don't be offended. I'm just saying, yes, we are. And I'm just wondering if other people are aware that we are in a precarious situation. Would Joe Biden, go back and listen to Joe Biden's address to the nation last night from the Oval Office. We have to be praying for protection. He laid it on the line. We're in trouble. If we don't help Ukraine and if we don't help Israel, if we don't help the Middle East, to come to peace. As far as Abbott goes, yeah. Abbott is, the King of Swords doesn't usually mean this. I'm just reading on Abbott. Abbott is definitely, he can't stop himself from being a sadist. he's that evil. The Nine of Pentacles, Abbott has so much money around him that he's able to buy his way out of trouble. And he has a lot of secrets. But I feel like Abbott's secrets are going to be revealed. It's so interesting because tonight, all the situations and people I've read on, it feels as though they're all, just metaphorically speaking, all these people are just being pushed off a cliff, metaphorically speaking. Amazing. Oh, and Cheryl's mentioning Virginia. I just mailed 100 postcards to get out the vote in Virginia. It might not be too late to get postcards and send them. Well, James is saying the isolationists won't care until there's a direct attack like Pearl Harbor. I've said again and again and again, it will be a catastrophe, and I think it's what's happened in the Middle East that wakes people up. But all these people that have committed crimes against America, they're going off a cliff. If I was in Texas, just speaking of Abbott, boy, I would really be campaigning to get him out of power. Would I suggest people not travel? I wouldn't travel. Yes, I would suggest that people don't travel. But I tend to play it, I don't take big risks. Tea leaves. It's time for the tea leaves. Wow, since I gave you a tour of the castle, and then I came back here and we did an entire PNN, going on 90 minutes. Oh no, I started late. Not quite 90. I feel like we've been together. I feel like we just had a big party. Like, you need to travel quite a bit for work, but right now, no. Well, I'm talking about international travel. If we don't help them now, it will come to our doorstep. That's what Joe Biden said, and that's absolutely true. And I hope everybody realizes that. Chris Hayes and Mehdi Hassan, give me a break. They start picking on what Joe Biden said. Stop it. Even if they had a point, it was like there was a bigger point. I see here the Ukrainians really amping up the attacks on Russia. You probably can't see that, but I see a rabbit too. It's so interesting because I didn't think that I'd be reading the tea leaves on Ukraine, but I feel like Ukraine is going to start really pushing ahead. Almost like they just got a whole bunch of big weaponry. I don't know. I see Ukraine doing some big attacks on Russia, and really it's not going to be very easy for Russia. And then I see there's a woman here. We're going to hear about a woman that's going to change us in some way. I feel like there's a woman who's going to be a spokesperson for peace. I'm getting a sense of, like, you know how Greta Thunberg is a spokesperson for stopping global climate change? You see the woman? There's somebody really, really important here who's going to come out and she's going to speak and people are going to listen. And it's about peace. Somebody was sentenced for COVID fraud who wrote the Don't Say Gay bill. Really? The guy who wrote the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida is sentenced to prison for COVID fraud. Ron DeFascist stole COVID money too. I'm not sure who the woman is. Anyway, but it's a young woman, and I think we're going to see a lot of women speaking up. And there's a big angel here. Do you see the angel? There's a big angel here. Don't think that the angels aren't with us. Greta Thunberg? No, this is more about peace. I was just saying, you know how like Greta Thunberg is a spokesperson for, you know, saving our planet? This is a young female speaking up for peace. I feel like it has, she might be from Israel. And then there's an angel right there. There's a big angel there. See it? This is a time for us to focus on the angels. I know it's Halloween and we usually do that around Christmas, but the veils are very thin and the angels are really easy to reach. We have, there's some news about, there's a plane. There's a plane and there's some news about a plane. I think this has to do with China. Some information, some intelligence that we get about China, the Air Force in China. Something's going on with that. But I feel like there's some intelligence coming in that's going to be helpful to keep us safe. And then there's an airplane there where Venus is. I think that this is about when we are seeing what's happening to these innocent people in this wartime. It's going to change us. It's going to shift us. Are you saying Putin in a plane? That's possible. We're going to hear about something it could be a plane is downed, or there's something going on with an airplane in China. And I know that Putin was planning to go to China. I don't feel like Putin's making much headway. I feel like it's like 1 step forward, 5 steps back for Putin. I don't feel like he's gaining. I feel like he's really losing. So that's what I see in the teacup. But if you guys want, I could start taking a picture of the tea leaves, and you could, if you wanted me to, I could take a picture of the tea leaves, and you can, because we just do this for a short time at the end of the video. But you could see what you can see too. I should do a class. I'm trying to figure out what this is, what I see here. That does look like a big bird, or that could be an airplane too. But it looks to me like a bird. Remember the other night we saw a moose and it's a big turtle. Anyway, things are going to be okay, but we have to in order for them to be okay, we have to stick together. Put on the community page. Yeah, it looks military-ish. Yeah, I agree. It looks like I mean, we're just going to see a lot of weaponry being you know, kind of strewn about. But I do feel like we'll come out of this. It's during times like this, we come together. It's just human nature. During times like this of challenges and peril, we come together. And that's why the Republican Party is coming apart. Because they don't come together. And we are tribal beings, and we are wired for cooperation. We are wired to be community. That's how we are humanly wired. And we're wired to not like it when people are being cruel to one another. That's how if we're normal, and a way larger percentage of the people of the world are normal than not. So, Michael Cohen will testify on Tuesday. So much going on. If anything huge happens, I could pop in and do a video tomorrow. But in the meantime, you can become a member tonight at the High Priestess or the World level, and it's just a subscription to my channel. And if you do join tonight, you can come to the party tomorrow, the once a month psychic gathering. It's like around an hour. And don't forget the Halloween event. PsychicAnnetteDion.com, and don't forget about Grassroots of Democracy. I know, your brain's full, I'm doing so many things, but please donate, please hit the thumbs up, and please subscribe and share if this video has been helpful to you. And thanks for joining me for that crazy tour at the castle. That was a lot of fun. Alright, see you soon. Namaste. Be well.